Thanks so much for joining me today. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. How are you going?
I'm good, thank you. And happy release day to you too, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, it's very exciting. So good to finally have it out in the world.
Yes. Did you have any big celebrations today? What does today look like for release?
Um, it's hard. I usually work on release day, but I took the day off today because I really just wanted to focus on celebrating it and kind of getting into the nitty-gritty. So I actually took myself out for brekkie and did a bit of fun admin and yeah, just shared the song around a bit. So it's been a nice chill day. It's been really, really exciting. So yeah.
It sounds amazing. And you mentioned that you shared it around a bit. What have the reactions been like so far? What are people saying about the release?
Um, it's been a really beautiful reaction. I was not expecting it. Yeah, everyone's been really loving the uplifting vibe of some of the tunes, but also more of the somber ones. So yeah, it's interesting to see how people are taking it on board, but it's all been really lovely interactions. So yeah.
That's great to hear. And I love what people are saying about the uplifting themes as well, because obviously I've listened to it and that's what I've taken away from it as well. It's very positive, uplifting, it's fun, it's got a bit of everything in there.
Oh, I'm so glad you feel like that. That's awesome. Thank you.
That's okay. And you've mentioned that this EP is a lot about self-discovery and growth. So what are some things that you learned about yourself when writing and recording this release?
Um, yeah, I basically this is the first project that I've done that's this big. So it was quite a learning curve in the process of releasing everything. And yeah, it's taken about over a year to record everything and like get it all out. So it's been a long process, but the music for me is more about the self-discovery and the kind of coming of age sort of period of my life. Yeah, basically the songs encapsulate all of the experiences that I've had in the past 5 years or so. And yeah, I decided to put them into one big EP and put them out into the world as kind of a closing chapter of my life. And like a new beginning into another chapter. So yeah, it's very exciting to finally have it shared out into the world and have those songs available for people to listen to. Yeah.
And as you mentioned, it's a lot about personal growth. How do you feel like, because sometimes it can feel vulnerable to share like personal stories and your own experience on such a public level. So how does it feel when people that don't know you can have like insight into what the last 5 years have been like?
Yeah, it definitely is quite scary. Like you're never really sure what people are gonna say or like how they're gonna react to kind of yeah, your experiences and things like that. But I guess that's part of the songwriting experience and it's a really rare opportunity to be able to kind of have this platform to speak about things that are relatable to some people. And I'd say probably to most people, like heartbreak and love and relationships and friendships are all quite common things that we all experience. So I feel quite lucky that I have such a big, like such a platform to be able to kind of share my experience and how I've come out of those hardships and the lovely things that have happened after that and things like that. And I guess it just provides people with a bit of hope and a bit of, yeah, like a feeling of that they're not alone. Yeah.
Yeah, and that makes sense too, because I was going to ask you too, like, what are the main messages that you hope listeners get out of it? But it sounds like, as you're saying, hope and knowing that, they're not the only one experiencing what they're going through as well.
Yeah, well, I guess like Ripples is a song that's about friendship. And for me, it was quite a big one because through that 5 years, my friends really stood out to me as being the biggest sort of support network. And I guess, yeah, some of the songs are about self-discovery in the sense of like my sexuality and dealing with all of, the backlash that that might come with as well. And then some are about heartbreak and coming out of toxic relationships and reflecting on that. But then there's also April, which is about love and finding love and feeling like you're deserving of something really healthy and good in your life. So it really takes you on a journey. But yeah, I guess there's something in there for everyone, which is really cool.
Yes, and that means like no matter what they're going through, whether it's now or in the past, there's something relatable for everyone.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, I hope so.
And I'd love to hear your creative process from like how you go from personal experiences to then tuning into a song, but also like 5 years is a long time. So how do you go from all the, like everything that can happen in 5 years to choosing what's actually going to make it onto the EP?
Yeah, so my creative process usually starts with a journal entry or some sort of like lyrics written down because something's happened in my life that I want to kind of get out, because this is my outlet as like an emotional thing. So I guess for me, it starts mostly with lyrics and then it'll go to piano and I'll kind of add chords and things like that and then figure out melodies from there, and then I'll usually take it to the band, and that's when it kind of takes its form and like turns into a song. And yeah, I feel like, what was your second question? Sorry.
Because you mentioned that this is from the last 5 years, and obviously 5 years, a lot
Yeah.
could have been good, bad. How do you fine tune that into like, selective songs for an EP?
Yes, that's right. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know. I guess these songs were quite pivotal moments in that period of my life. And I guess like I was at uni in those 5 years, so there were a lot of songs that I wrote that were crap, to be honest. So I feel like these ones kind of really stood out as like pivotal points in those 5 years and really big turning points and like learning opportunities in my life as well. So it wasn't like too hard to actually choose because these are the songs I play most in my sets and these are the ones that have resonated with people. So I feel like it kind of just like naturally came to itself as a full EP, I guess. Yeah.
And this one might be a bit of a hard question, but I'd love to know if you have like a personal favorite from the EP or what song really resonates with you the most.
Yeah, it's so hard because like it just depends what mood I'm in. Like sometimes I'm just like, oh, I'm so like I just want to feel the things, and that's when Crumbs is put on. But sometimes I'm like, yeah, feeling really like thankful and stuff. And yeah, either Ripples or April will go on when I'm feeling a bit more like happy and excited. Um, but I think, yeah, probably April or Ripples is my favorite because I just love being able to put horns and like trumpet into a song. And it's more of like the poppier stuff that I've done. So, like, to me, that's quite a different sound to what I'm used to hearing myself do. So, yeah, I'd probably say April or Ripples is one of my faves.
And for anyone who hasn't heard your EP yet, how would you, in a nutshell, like describe your sound or what can they expect from it, would you say? Like, how would you describe it to someone that's never heard of you or your EP?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's kind of hard because they're all quite different, but I guess in a nutshell, it's like indie folk pop with like sort of like 60s, like modern 60s vibes. But yeah, it goes from like melancholy ballads to like uplifting pop.
Yeah. And I'd love to hear where you draw some inspiration from as well. Like, do you obviously personal experiences, but musically, do you have any artists that you're really connecting with or enjoying at the moment?
Definitely. I feel like Florence and the Machine has been one with me for as long as I've done music, essentially. She is such a huge inspiration for me. Another one for this EP in particular was Carole King, which you can probably hear a little bit of in Ripples with the piano parts. And yeah, I'd probably say like Maggie Rogers and like Meg Mac sort of vibes. They're like probably the biggest inspirations for me at the moment.
Yeah, and they are great artists too, and that's a very great mix as well. And I feel like, yeah, as you said, some of those influences do come through in the EP, which is great as well.
Thank you. Yeah, I love them.
And April 6th, your band is doing a live performance. So tell us like what we can expect from that and yeah, what do you have in store?
Yeah, so on the 6th of April, we're playing the launch show for the EP. So at the moment we've got the supports, getting confirmed, but we've got the stamps locked in as a support, which is very exciting. But essentially, because it's such a closing chapter for me, I kind of wanted to make it a bit of a party. So um, I'm thinking cake, I'm thinking disco balls.
Yes.
Um, and I think we're gonna have a lot of fun, even though like some of the songs are a bit more moody and melancholy. I think it's the whole roller coaster is what makes it enjoyable. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it and I can't wait to celebrate it all. So yeah, I guess if you're in WA, come down to Lyrics Underground on the 6th of April, which would be lovely to see you there. We haven't played a gig in a while, so I'm very much looking forward to being back on stage and celebrating all this hard work with my band.
Yes, it's gonna be amazing, and we're so keen to see it. And we'd love to hear like who's in your band as well. If you want to give like a brief introduction, like to who's in your band or who's helped with this EP as well.
Definitely, I would love to. So we started working with a new producer and sound engineer for this, and I have loved every minute of it. His name is Michael Strong. So we've been recording in his living room for the past year, and he's amazing. Love him to bits. And on drums, we've got Riley Sutton, who is an amazing drummer. He's also in a few other bands. One of them is called Joan and the Giants, if you have ever heard of them before. And we've got Finn Pearson on bass, who has his own music project as well. We've got Ruby Miguel on keys and backing vocals, who is her own artist under Villa, and she also plays amazing weddings. We've also got Ashton Weaver on guitar, who is also in a few local bands. And we've got Miranda Murray-Young, who is on cello for a few of the songs. They are incredible. And we've also got Chris Zappa, who is on trumpet for two of the songs. And yeah, they just are on the cherry on the top. So I've had such a beautiful time recording with such talented people. And I'm, yeah, super stoked to be able to share it with all of them.
Sounds like a great team. You've got a great bunch of people supporting you there.
I do. I'm very, very lucky.
And I'd love to hear like, do you have anything else in store for the rest of the year? What are your plans for the rest of 2024?
Yeah, we're still planning the rest of the year because getting this EP out was such a pivotal moment. So yeah, we are planning a few gigs. Hopefully some exciting ones are in the horizon. Haven't got anything locked in just yet, but hopefully yeah, exciting things ahead for the rest of the year.
Sounds great, and we're very excited to see where you go from here as well.
Thank you so much. Thanks so much.
That's okay. And were there any other comments you wanted to add about this release or about yourself or your band that we haven't covered?
Yeah, with Ripples, we actually released a music video for it. So if you want something visual and something really fun to go watch, it's basically just a big party with all my friends and bandmates. So yeah, there's a bit of roller skating in there as well. It's on YouTube under Stacey Ann channel. So you can go visit that one as well if you like. That was really fun to make.
Yeah, it sounds fun, especially the roller skates and stuff too. Amazing.
Yeah, it was very, very fun.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for your time and all the best for the live show and the rest of the year as well.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you taking the time to chat.
Yeah, you too. All right, thank you. Bye.
Bye, see you.